you know, we knew coming in it's going to be a heck of a challenge. And we, you know, I think we got a little bit, defensively got rocked back a little bit early. They did some different things offensively than what we had seen. You know, that kind of caught us off a little bit. And then defensively, they felt like they were going to pressure us, and they did, and that's difficult to handle. But I don't know. Once we seemed like we settled in a little bit, it still wasn't what we want. You know, our guys competed, our guys played hard, our guys did all those types of things, and we played a lot of people. And hopefully we'll learn from this experience, and we'll get better from this experience. That's what we're talking about. I mean, here and compete like this, and against a really, really good team. I mean, this is not just, you know, as people ask me about playing an FBS team. I mean, this is, there's some, and then there are really some, and this is really good. You know, I don't know how they'll end up, but they're really good.
Jimmy, was the touchdown to Denman very similar to the one last week?
Same play.
Exact same play.
I'm thinking the formation, probably, I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, the same formation.
And then on the 71-yarder in the first quarter, did Denman have the block to spring?
To spring, are you talking about, which one are you talking about, Muse?
The one to Muse for 71 yards.
He might have, he was probably outside, Muse was inside on that play, right. Yeah. I think they might have blown a coverage on that or something, because they gave us that one pretty easy. Yeah. But yeah, that was just one of our quick things, we had some quick throws off of empty set, no backs in the backfield, throw them out a little bit. I mean, there was a couple, you know, we made it some plays and things here and there. It's like, I thought Sean handled, was composed. I thought he was extremely composed and played very well that way. And obviously, Devontae played well. You know, we have plenty of other guys, I'm sure, played well.
So what do you get out of a game like this, Coach? What does your team get out of it?
Well, you know, they get a feeling of, well, they understand, to one sense, what it takes to play at a high level. They can see that. You can see. Now, whether they can realistically achieve that high level, but at least they see that. They also get, you know, you get your mistakes get magnified. You know, they can see exactly if your body position is not correct to make a tackle, what can happen. And you see it's really good people, and it's shown to you. You know. So there's a lot of things like that, and then also you get a feeling of accomplishment or confidence when you say, when you go in there and you do things right, and you do it right, just like throwing it out there to the Muse, or making a tackle, or breaking on whatever. You know, hey, if you do everything really well, really right, you can do it against one of the best teams in the country. You can do it, you know. So you get a sense of confidence probably coming out of that one too.
Jimmy, you mentioned that Tech did some things, without getting too much into the X and O weeds.
Yeah, just
what did they do?
Just a few different runs, just a few different things in the run game.
Oh, in the run game.
Yeah, more in the run game. And they were doing the RPOs off of a little different action, it looked like. You know, supposedly. They've not done RPOs before. I thought their quarterback really did a nice job executing that stuff. He really did.
Coach, you obviously Tech has a very good front seven, but really struggled to run the ball today. Just want to talk about, you know, things you could do going forward. Obviously, a lot of teams will, you know, not have that stout of a defense up front, but really struggled to get a solid run attack going today.
Well, yeah. It was not only, I mean, they probably got one of the best front defensive lines in the country. Now, you know, I've heard Clemson pretty good. That bunch out there today was pretty good. And they got depth on that too. So that's it. And then when they can bring their safeties down and get their safeties involved in it, and in order to counteract that, you need to have some time to make some throws, and it was hard to have the time to make the throws to take advantage of the safeties being down. So one thing leads to another thing, another situation like that. So, and then again, you know, we got, we got a freshman offensive tackle in there. Started this is the only second game he started in college, and you know, he'll be all right. It'll take him a while.
Had you expected your defense to maybe, you know, hang in there a little bit more with him, I guess, or did you privately kind of think, well, this could get...
I wish we would have tackled better. I really do. I wish we could have tackled better. We got rocked back early, and it took us a while to kind of regroup, and then we really missed some tackles and some stuff, and that's probably...
Coach, you talked a little bit about Sean earlier. What did he do that you liked the most?
He didn't panic. He didn't get panicky and jittery back there, even when things weren't quite right. Or even, I mean,
blocks.
We had a few lookout blocks on it too, you know, and he did a pretty good job hanging in there, you know, making the throws the best he could, and running the offense, calling the stuff, getting the thing to the right people. I just thought probably just his overall poise out there in that environment against that team now.
Any nostalgia playing Tech for the last time?
None. No, we played them. I think it was first time was my first year here at Winmar. Yeah, and we got an offensive pass interference call against us, and they ended up beating us, I think, 7-3.
Coaches never forget, do they?
Coaches never forget those things. And Millsap asked me a terrible question afterward, and you know, you asked Millsap if he'll remember that too.
So you red-assed him?
No, you I'm sorry, go ahead.
You saw your old Citadel colleague, Frank, before the game there.
Yeah.
Not all colleagues become friends, not all colleagues stay friends over the years. What is it about you two that you not only hit it off back then, but you stayed friends over?
I think Frank and I came from very similar type of backgrounds. We never came from a whole lot of, working class parents and just worked our way up and never had things given to us, and we had to work for everything we got, and we appreciated it. And I think both of us profited a great deal from being with Bobby Ross down there. So I think that influenced both of us strongly insofar as coaching and how we coached. But I just think we just hit it off as personalities way back when, and we liked the same things. We played golf together, we did stuff like that. We just remained friends.
Well, you mentioned that I guess you kind of sought his counsel or sought his sounding board this summer when you were thinking about hanging it up. And
I told him that.
And so I guess that speaks to kind of you guys.
Well, he's been through it. There's not a whole lot of people been through it. He can relate to a little bit of that. Frank's a good friend. We've been friends for a long time, and he is who he is, and I like to think I am who I am, and we don't try to pretend we're something else. And that's the thing I appreciate about Frank.
I guess Bobby put together a pretty good staff back in the day.
Yeah, we still couldn't win more than 3 games, so that kind of tells you what coaching does about having players.
Jimmy, you mentioned, or you used the phrase "as advertised" about Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
What impressed them the most? What was it them athletically that impressed?
Overall,
yeah.
Well, I think they have tremendous balance on offense. I think they can play the entire field, horizontally and vertically. The pros, they got the receivers now that they go. So I really think they got just tremendous balance there. And then defensively, I think they play with such speed and aggressiveness and enthusiasm that it's really, really tough. I mean, they're very fast, they're very quick, they're very, I think that's well. And of course, Bud's got good schemes, and he knows what he's doing. He puts them in the right spots, and they do that. I mean, you're not going to. And even if they're in the wrong spot, you don't have time to take advantage of it. Usually, that's part of the deal. They're going to make something happen right away. And then, great kicking game. I mean, they're kicking us,
out of the end zone every time.
Every time. I thought that's one thing we did do a whole lot this week. Is work on kickoff returns, and we knew that.